Hi, welcome back to Star by... Oh, you're not ready? I saw you do
Yeah, I was like...
Hi, welcome back to Star by Esther's channel. This week, we're going to be recapping, reviewing, and yeah nah and nah yang RuPaul's Drag Race
Down Under.
If you don't know who we are, my name is Esther Ricks, local Melbourne drag queen in Australia and wig stylist to the stars. Yeah, I can call myself a celebrity wig stylist now, can't I?
Yes, you
I
can.
recently did wigs for, well, I've done wigs for quite a few Ru girls, but I recently done some wigs for Tones and Eyes music videos, so maybe I'll put the link for that in the comment box below. And who the hell are you?
I am your drag wife.
What's your name?
Oh, whoops. I'm Russell Brown. I'm a drag wife of Melbourne and all-round icon.
Please subscribe to our channel and hit the bell button to be notified of when we post more. Let's get on with recapping today's episode. Episode 4 of RuPaul's Drag Race. This week is the Make Shit Out of Shit challenge.
Drag on a Dime, my favourite challenge. My favourite challenge.
Before we get into the actual runway looks, let's go through the episode and talk about some of the things that happened in the workroom and a very special surprise that we sort of saw coming. Well, there was rumours.
Lo and behold, crawling out of the trash comes Art Simone.
What are your thoughts? I will let you go first.
I said it in the episode that she left that I would be disappointed that she comes back with no explanation.
And that's exactly what's happened.
And there was no explanation.
Like,
just
there was like Ru had talking about the challenge, you know, second chance at life, but kind of whatever the stuff is, talking about the stuff really. But then once Art popped out, Ru didn't even say, I've decided to bring Art back because I want her to have a second chance. Ru didn't even say that. I'm very disappointed that JoJo and Coco didn't get a chance to be brought back in, especially them being the only POCs in the cast, and Coco going in the previous episode. If anyone's coming back, it should be Coco.
Yeah.
Or they should have brought all three back, and all three of them have to do the challenge.
Yeah, exactly.
And the best one out of the three gets to come back in the competition.
Online, that's pretty much what has been said.
Yeah. Oh, did you see Coco's tweet?
Yeah, no, I
love it.
Yeah.
Love Coco's tweet.
Coco...
I wanted to share it, but I knew, like on my personal Facebook page, but obviously we're doing this and we're telling our feelings here. Nothing against Art and what Art does and her professionalism and how good a queen she is, but it's just not fair. And like I said in the previous episode, and come back with no explanation, just putting her back in just because she's Art Simone. I just hope that it wasn't a situation that Art just chucked a tanty and the producers didn't know what to do and brought her back on because she was pissed off.
Personally, I think it's a negative. She would have had a better storyline, a better outcome if it was left, because she picked herself back up and she turned it around. Obviously,
you got to remember that it's a reality show, and in these kinds of shows, they want drama and story and twists and shock. I think it was warranted Art being at the bottom and she didn't do well in lip sync and Coco sending her home. Like, she left fair and square. I don't feel like that is a storyline that was produced. Like, they didn't get rid of her to bring her back and create more of a story around Art. I don't think they did that intentionally, but now it was an opportunity to bring her back and have another twist, knowing that she would have a following, knowing that it'll be good for ratings, knowing that it'll get people talking. For me, I'm not excited. It's just annoying and disappointing. If they all got to be brought back, then they get more of a, they get more airtime, they get more of a show, you get to see more of their story, more of who they are, and it's a bit disappointing that the only two, Indigenous queen and person of colour, and now it is white, Australia's white girl drag race.
Yeah. It's unfair. It's unfair.
Why not do it in a way that, to a viewer and an audience, looks better and makes sense and seems fair, right? Just, Art's back, No explanation. Anyway, so Art's back. Let's see how she goes, and let's see how her story goes, and how her attitude is, and if she turns her head around. I know she said it in this episode that she's going to be here just to represent herself. Let's hope that she doesn't have any more of that I'm the strongest one here attitude, which is a slap in the face to everyone.
And personally, I think from here on in, she'll never be able to know whether she's the strongest one either, because her being back in the competition means nothing. It means nothing. Her coming back into the competition means nothing, because she doesn't know whether she's winning because she deserves it or because it's rigged. Rigomoris.
There's definitely a little bit of riggery. I'm not denying that reality shows aren't produced or aren't planned or don't have some kind of riggery or planning, but the aim of the game for reality show on the viewer's perspective is to make it not obvious or not noticeable, and this was way too obvious.
And I've seen online what people have said, and they've like, oh, the drama's amped up, Australia's for the shady bitches.
No.
And in the episode, you do kind of see the girls kind of come after Elektra, and Elektra standing up for herself. I did hear that supposedly the producers sat everyone down at the end of just before they went on and was like, you're being too nice.
For this episode?
Yeah.
Halfway through.
So that they were saying, you guys are being too nice to each other.
Well, see, that's the thing.
Pick up the shade.
Well, and that's why I think other viewers and international viewers probably wouldn't even think of it. But us, as Australian queens, and us knowing a lot of them, are like, they've been told to say that. They've been told to say that. They've been told to say that. Like, a lot of it you can tell is forced. And even in the confessionals, they're being like, extra shady, extra shady, because they need those sound bites, they need those snippets for the storyline. But I think you just got to remember to take anything that they say with a grain of salt, because a lot of it is produced, I think, and a lot of it is being put on, which of course is what's going to happen. If I ever get on, I don't know, I think I would probably just be a genuine bitch. Right?
Yeah.
I sometimes I don't have enough of a filter. That's why I have Russell. Russell is my filter. But also, one thing I have noticed is, which I wanted to make a point of and talk about, Karen, how she said the drama's heating up in the workroom. I'm kind of here for it. That is like quintessential Karen.
Yeah.
Karen in Melbourne, like, there's North Side, South Side infighting. There's queens who bitch about queens. Karen is always just on the outside of it. External, watching over. She's like the god of Melbourne drag. Doesn't get into the drama whatsoever, just stands on the wayside. But it's cute that she's obviously always like, she's watching from us. She's like, I know what's going on and I'm enjoying it. You bitches go fight over there. I'm just gonna watch. Which is also what I like to do as well. Yeah. I like to avoid, I try to avoid drama, unless drama gets brought upon me or someone, jealousy or doesn't like us or me for some stupid reason, which I don't know why, but I'm nice to everybody as much as I can be, aren't we? But maybe, yes, I do have an air, might have an air of arrogance because I look so good, but, I can't help that, can I?
No, I'm saying it's true.
Yeah.
I said jealousy.
So yeah, the drama in the workroom, I'm actually enjoying, but I can also tell when it's being forced. No one's talked about it, and we can see through the drama that's happening here, the rifts are forming between Elektra and a few of the other girls. It'd be very interesting to know the story and an explanation as to why Elektra, if you didn't notice, wasn't at the premiere in Sydney. I was surprised no one's asked in comments, no one's questioned it. Elektra never put out a statement saying this is why I'm not coming. Maybe the season goes on and there's more drama between all of them.
Yeah.
Before we get into our yenas and yayas of the runway, what would we do? Obviously we don't know all the trash that they had to work with. I can sew. I can use a sewing machine. My mum taught me to sew, but I don't necessarily know how to put together a whole garment.
Well,
you got ideas, okay?
This is my dream. Like, I would love to do this challenge because it's my favorite challenge, It's what I do. I love making stuff out of nothing, and I love making stuff out of unconventional things. I would love to do a paper dress.
No, obviously that's not a good idea. Been done.
Oh, it's been, but I would do it in a different way. The one thing I've always wanted to do, ever since I was little, was a dress made out of garbage bags. Because it was on Art Attack.
That's been done a lot though too.
Yeah, but my dress would be a beautiful princess dress. Yeah, it would be better than all of them.
I'm going to get Russell to do a sketch.
Oh, no. Of
what his design would be to show that it's better, and let's see what it is.
I could do a really good dress. Oh, I just would.
Whatever I
that
mean.
That was my favorite.
It's perfect.
That was my favorite Art Attack.
Art Attack was great.
And when they made the dress out of garbage bags, I was like,
I'll have to find it.
To make it!
So now, let's get to the runways for episode 4 of RuPaul's Drag Race Down Under.
Category is...
Wait, what do they call the category?
Category is Trash or Treasure.
Oh, okay. Category is make something out of the shit that we gave you. Yeah. Category is make shit out of shit. Make something good out of shit. In the workroom, Scarlett was talking to Art, saying like, I don't make things that don't look good. But I don't think this challenge isn't turn trash and make it look like you're wearing trash. Like, you want it to look like you're not wearing trash. Like, I want it to look like, I don't even know, it's made outfit out of, real good shit.
First on the runway, we've got Art Simone.
We know that Art is very crafty. Yes, she gets a lot of her stuff made, but she knows how to make shit look good. For Art, it's not that wow or unexpected or interesting.
Because it's something I've seen her in before.
Yeah, very similar,
not necessarily this exact outfit. I've seen her in an outfit like this already.
Art's already so elevated, so it's hard for her to elevate it even more.
Yeah.
But this is what she needs to do. Especially coming back.
Which I guess looks really good. She can put her outfit together. It's typical Art Simone, but what else? It's a nah yeah.
For me, it's a nah yeah. It could be a hell yeah, but it could have been elevated a bit more for Art. Next on the runway, we have Kidamine in her bubbly bubble with a umbrella hat. I thought this was really cute. I know, it said afterwards read her in Untucked.
Read her for Phil.
Not really, but don't be one of those gays. Calm down. But I think it's really cute, and it suits Kidda's attitude. I really actually like, because it's
frilly.
No, it's
Poodle.
it's made out.
1950s.
No,
ball pit.
The material is sleeping bag, and I like that you can tell that it still is. It's got that wadding in it. It's squishy, like the way it flows. I like the way it flows for some reason. And I've always liked, when you're like in a sleeping bag and you stand up and hop around like a worm. The feeling of the sleeping bag fabric, that silkiness, is always nice.
I think it suits her very well. I would have placed it a little bit more fashion. Looked like she had hundreds of balls, and I feel like she could have used more balls.
Not enough balls.
There wasn't enough
She
balls.
doesn't have enough balls. I know.
It was kind of like a campy cop out.
Campy cop out. You heard it here first.
Campy cop out. I didn't like the shape around her boobs. She could have had more balls on her boobs and more balls on the skirt. I know it sounds negative, but I'm just
more balls.
More balls.
For me, still, it's a nah yeah. Nah yeah.
It's a nah yeah for me.
Still a nah yeah though?
Yeah,
that's
still
good.
A nah yeah.
How positive. How lovely.
Next up, we have etc.
It's a T.
Etc.
You just emphasized what you were doing wrong.
In her Hollywood 1920s, they have a name. They're like the Star Children.
The people that have the
something.
things.
Yeah,
I vaguely got the reference, but I did think that the circle bit wasn't as neat as it could have been. It could have been made a little bit better. And it looked, the way, on the runway, the way she was holding it, because it's so long, it was sort of like, it was very separate. Like, would look better if she held it a bit closer. It was, I don't know, it just looked a bit like weird.
I think like if she had more time, she would have been able to elevate it more. Like it was already quite nice. Like it was nice.
I like it. I really like I like it.
Oh yeah, I
it's
love.
really pretty. And it doesn't look. But then again, it's like, what is trash? Like this is, I guess, it goes against. You know, I'm a bit of a hypocrite saying like that doesn't look like trash because I said you're meant to make it not look like trash, but it almost looks like it's just one type of fabric from, what was it, a curtain?
A curtain.
Was it a curtain? And just one type of fabric and then the stick thing. So there wasn't really utilising much of the trash turning into treasure.
True.
Not saying it's not beautiful, and I really love it, and at the end of the day it looked great on the runway. She looked really good. I really like it's really pretty. So for me it is a nah, yeah.
Mine is a nah, yeah.
Next on the runway we have Maxi Shield, or as Russell likes to say,
Maxi Shields.
with it.
Like Brooke Shields.
I really love this. This is really cool. Knowing, because we watched Vanity Stories, Vanity was the one that helped her get sewing lessons and using these, you know, what we call in Australia drag bags. These are, or maybe you call them nana. I think my grandma had lots of these. And it's,
yeah,
you know, very, you know, old lady quilters have these bags, but it's also what the drag queens use to carry their shit around in Australia. It does come across very, very Westward, very fashion.
Yes.
And then the addition of the orange hair, which is that punk rock kind of vibe era.
I love when someone executes something and it gets, you look at it and you're like, okay, I know it. Like she didn't need to explain
Not
it.
at
like
all.
The tartan, the grungy look that she added to it, like putting the paint and the pins and
like the extra dangly bits, like the little details on the frill on the, you know, like those little details that just sort of finished it off. For me, this is a hell yeah.
It's a hell yeah for me too.
And if you didn't watch last week's episode and know our ranking system, go watch last week's episode so you can understand our ranking system. It had copyright and not as many people watched it because we put our Queens Down Under song. YouTube didn't promote it to anyone, so fuck you, YouTube.
Next on the runway is Karen from Finance. She walks down the runway as Chapelle Gorby.
Or Giselle Corgi.
I just want to say, if people are like, I paid out someone on the Lindy Chamberlain thing, but I'm laughing about the Chapelle Gorby thing. It's a recent pop reference. Also, to the point where now she's a reality star in Australia. I'm pretty sure she can deal with a laugh about herself.
Oh, I think the majority of Australians would be happy for Karen to be taking the piss out of Chapelle Corby.
Yeah.
It's very divided in Australia for YI. So Chapelle Corby, 20 years ago, 21 years ago, like a lot of weed, right? Was hidden in her boogie board bag going to Bali. She got caught. She said she didn't put it in there. And then, so it's either that she actually did and she's lying that she didn't put it in there, or someone else put it in there, or one of her family members put it in there. That was the big conspiracy, that it was her father or her sister or someone else put it in there without her knowing. But either way, she got caught and ended up being in jail for 20 years. But it was such a huge media storm. It was just everywhere. News for months. And then the trial went on for months. Yeah. She ended up getting convicted, 20 years. She ended up being there for 16, 17 years, I think. But for me, I feel whether she did it or not, it's just fucking marijuana, right? And I get it's a different country, but I don't understand where people are like, oh, she's a criminal, she's an ex-convicted drug trafficker, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yes, she is, but she served her time, and what fuck else is she going to do? What, is she going to go get a job at the local fucking Coles, and then every customer she has is going to be like, that's fucking Chapelle Corby scanning my fucking shit. You know what I mean? Like, what else is she gonna bloody do? Other than be in the media, which it's the media's fault that she's such a high profile, you wouldn't call it celebrity, she's notorious in Australia. And we talked about her so much. So it's our fault that she's in that situation now, after serving her time. She can't go back to a normal life. So she has to do what she needs to do. And I'm like, good on her, go for it. Write a book, make your money, go on Channel 10,
surprised
go on the morning show, go on Dancing with the Stars.
Judge on RuPaul's Drag Race.
She probably can't fly internationally. Back to the look.
Unfortunately,
I'm gonna have to. Like last week, we felt bad doing it, but this is bad. It's bad.
I was just ready to go. It's a nah. So we
don't need to speak much. Like,
we don't even need
I get
to talk
where
much
she was
about
trying to go and making a character instead of a thing, but even then, it's so mismatched, right?
Yeah.
Like that ugly ass fabric for the skirt. that giant oversized belt, which sort of doesn't really make sense. I get like the white top and the ponytail hair sort of makes sense. Like I've said previously, I want to see her do something couture, something a bit more fashion. This could have been an opportunity to make something a bit more unique. Like all the stuff she's wearing is sort of just like she picked it up and put it on, rather than, you know, the boogie board is a boogie board, the neck pillow is a neck pillow. So yeah, for me it is a nah.
It's a nah.
Nah.
Sorry. Love you, Karen.
Next onto the runway is Electra Shock in her very much completely different to what she originally planned. The skirt is good, and she made that quite well actually. But the top half feels like an afterthought to me. A white weird boob tube. Like why didn't she finish? Like it doesn't look finished. And one thing we need to say, which this is very insider knowledge gossip, that wig is Karen's wig. I did that wig for Karen. Obviously, Electra borrowed this wig from Karen to use for this runway, because Karen is so lovely and nice. And that didn't really work out as well for Karen, did it? And like I always say, you can save a bad outfit and you can save a bad mug with good hair.
Star by Esther.
That saved it. It saved it. But in saying that, I did really like the skirt and her makeup was a bit better this week. But if she had one of her wigs that she would normally wear, I don't think it would have looked as good.
There is a designer, there is a seamstress, there's a drag queen in Melbourne named Passion Couture. She did a tie dress and it was amazing. And this just, it's not a...
This is Passion's. We'll find a picture. Did you find a picture?
Yeah, there will be a picture.
But what's your point? Is it bad that she copied it, or isn't that it's the thing that people have done? Other people have done that.
I know, but still, it leaves a bad taste in my mouth when it just looks like a little.
When it's not done as well as someone else has done it.
Yes.
In the past.
I was like, oh, that's been ripped.
That's a poor recreation of Passion's dress.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. At the end of the day, for me, I'm still saying a nah yeah.
Nah yeah.
Because the overall look was good.
Mine is nah yeah. Mine's nah yeah too. Next up, we have Anita Wiglet. Like the judges said, it's been done better.
Who's done it better? Because I don't know who they were talking about exactly.
Well,
I really love it.
People have done two separate things. So people have done the film and people have done the
I know, yeah.
Naomi did paper. Vivian did the film, but then even
they didn't like that?
Yeah, even in that, they said they've seen someone do it better. Personally, I did like it, but it could have been more elevated. I didn't kind of like the staging and the acting.
You didn't
because
like
I felt as if like she's done this every single week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like she presented her outfit in a very similar way.
You know what I mean? And she comes out and she's like, yeah. She could have come out and been a little bit more editorial.
I thought it was pretty. I don't think it warranted her being in the bottom.
Yeah.
So for me, it is a nah, yeah.
It is nah, yeah for me as well. What would have been really good if she lit it on fire? Where it's like
very, very dangerous. You need to get that special stuff that just dissolves.
That just like...
I don't think they had that in the pile of trash. Next onto the runway is Scarlett Adams. I knew that she was going to do well at this because she is a really good seamstress. This is super cute. Like Michelle said, it is glamdiculous. If it was just a skirt, it wouldn't be that exciting. To make something that, like, I know she's got a great body, she's a skinny bitch. To make something that form-fitting out of random shit, pants, shorts, like, oh my god.
If she doesn't get merch out with glamdiculous...
Can she use that word? Because Michelle said it, she didn't say it.
Scarlett Adams, she's got a good level of taste.
Oh, definitely.
She
does not have the drag queen jeans.
She knows what her body looks like. She knows fashion. Mm-hmm. She knows what makes her look good. The attention to detail, the trimmings. This is what you do with this kind of challenge. Oh, you elevate it. It is a hell yeah for me.
It's a hell yeah for me as well. What's your favourite for this week?
Scarlett Adams.
Scarlett Adams? Even though I love Scarlett Adams as well, my favourite, and I think she should have got a little bit more recognition, Maxi.
Yeah,
Maxi's my favourite.
Maxi was a close second for me.
So Scarlett Adams and Maxi Shield win episode 4 of the Runways.
Oh, they both did really well where they took the stuff and did it the right way. made it not look like trash. Okay,
Like we
so
always do.
judging happens. Kidda and Electra are safe.
Yeah. What did you think of that?
I kind of think Kidda shouldn't have been safe.
Yeah.
Well,
I think, to be honest, I think Anita should have been safe, even though, yeah, it's done before, whatever, it still looks really great. Anita and Electra, and etc. should have been safe. Scarlett wins the challenge, obviously. Maxi was safe. I feel like Maxi could have equally won easily as well.
Yeah.
And the bottom two end up being Karen from Finance and Anita Wiglet. And we were like, oh my god, because of Art coming back.
Spoiler alert.
Well, it's not really anymore.
Spoiler
No spoilers
alert.
anymore. Art coming back. There was previous rumours that Art was coming back, and Art comes back after a double elimination. Was the rumour that there was a double elimination, and that's the reason Art gets brought back. But then we're like, oh, what if this is the episode? That's a double elimination. If they brought her back now, there might be a double elimination in a future episode, which is a fair enough thing to say now, because if you're bringing someone back, you know schedules of TV shows and stuff like that. They only have a certain window. They have a plan. If it wasn't planned to bring Art back, or any contestant back originally, then they might have to get rid of two in one go in a future episode. It is finally an Australian song.
Oh, finally, Danny Minogue on the wrong freaking episode. Why did you have to wait 4 episodes to be able to afford her freaking song?
So it comes down to the lip sync. The lip sync is sort of, I'm not going to say they weren't good, but Karen's not a dancing queen. Anita is more of a comedy queen and not a full-on dancing queen. Plus, even if she did want to dance more, she's wearing a gown, so she couldn't really move much.
Yeah.
Karen did bring it in by doing the campy, the skipping along the floor, and it was quite funny. But it was a little bit, this is where we're like, oh my god, what if it is a double elimination? Because this lip sync, to be honest, was a little bit lackluster, you could say.
They also kind of sometimes they don't show a lot of the song. They only show half of the song, but they kind of made it longer, so it felt
a little bit tedious. You're like,
you were kind of like,
they're making us feel like it's petering out, and oh my god, they're both not doing as good as what we want.
They're repeating their dance moves, and it's like they're not doing anything new. And it's like, oh, okay.
Anita went home. Very sad to see Anita go. I felt that Kidda and Anita would go further together, and either one of them will make it to the top. And I thought that was going to be Anita over Kidda. But now I'm really rooting for Kidda to stay a bit longer.
Very consistent, knows her brand, and I wish her the best with everything she does. What's so good about Drag Race franchises is seeing drag other than America. No offense, America. In the UK, seeing drag. In Holland, seeing drag. In Canada is so different than the 13 shows with 13 seasons that we've watched of American, because even though it's down under, it's been interesting for us to see the drag from New Zealand.
Oh yes, and in honour of Anita, if you didn't notice, this week we are in, I think I'm going to take us to the glaciers of New Zealand.
So
that's
cold.
Russ has got his fur. This is probably not enough warmth for me, but I'm managing with my wig. Wigs are technically wearing a beanie. So yes, we're at the glaciers of New Zealand.
I would love to go there. We should go on a holiday.
We're going to maybe do a New Zealand cruise.
Ooh, that'd be
as soon
fun.
as we can, I want to do a New Zealand cruise.
Yeah.
And we'll stop in at Calypso.
Yeah.
And see Anita and Kidda.
So if you liked this video, give us a thumbs up.
Yes, and please subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell to be notified of when we post next. We have our Yeah Nah Nah Yeah series recapping and reviewing Drag Race Australia, but we also have my Drag 101 makeup series. And over on Patreon, we have the Wigs 101 wig styling tutorials, so you can join up to learn wig styling. Plus, if you want to join on the lowest tier and become an Estes styler, you can support our YouTube channel. Get access to behind the scenes and extra stuff and all that jazz.
Yeah. And you can add us on TikToky, Instagrammy, on Facebooky, Twittery, and Star by Esther.
A big thank you to all our current patrons as well. They're listed right here if you would like a shout out. join as a patron and we maybe shout you out in the next one. So-
Film.
Oh yes, John McLean. John McLean is back.
Film.
Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next film.
Film.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
See you later.
Bye!
Coco Jumbo. Oh no, that doesn't work. I didn't get the tune right whatsoever.
Ay, ay,
Yeah,
ay,
Coco Jumbo. Ay, ay, ay.
Ew.